Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kamal Sodhi, Director North in Agriculture Skill Council. This is the Agriculture Skill Council is part of NSDC and responsible for skilling in India. So my in my today's presentation, I shall go in the following manner. First is the urgency in skilling in agriculture. I'll highlight why at the moment it is very urgent that we take care of agriculture in our country, and and then in the second part I'll go over the how the agriculture skill council was formed and what are the constituents and what we have done so far and what is our target to do in the coming years. So, starting with the urgency in agriculture. Gentlemen, the skilling program in India started when a study was carried out by NSDC from KPMG, and they gave these recommendations saying the increment of manpower required in till 2022. And you can see this, okay, beauty and wellness takes the cake. Highest demand of manpower in coming years is in beauty and wellness. And you see in addition to the construction sector, which is of course the largest, but agriculture is mentioned nowhere. And you see the dilemma. Okay, this is our employability state in the country. 49% people are presently employed, directly employed in agriculture, and the family is dependent. If you go by that, then the number is very large. We have large population dependent on agriculture, and still no efforts are being done in view of upgrading the skill, enhancing the farmer's income, and so that the distress presently the farmer is in distress to avoid that. So I'll go in my subsequent slides how we can overcome it, what are our recommendations, and what is the present state of agriculture in the country. The focus needed is, presently we have a declining if you go by the study says every year the agriculture manpower is decreasing. Reason, people are migrating from villages to cities. Then there is a wrong perception that agriculture is not a skilled proposition. Whereas we have a farmer with a 20 years of service, or let's say 10 years of service, see his spectrum of skill. He knows what input has to go into his field. He knows what to do with the output. He knows when there is a problem, when there is a disease, how he can go to the market, post-market harvesting. Everything is done by a single man, and we call him he's an unskilled chap. He knows which kind of pesticides to use, which kind of fertilizers to use, which kind of seeds to use, when to use, and how much to use, and we call them unskilled persons. So in my subsequent slides, I'll tell you how we want to overcome that area. Agriculture, largest this thing. And presently with the large middle class in the country, there's a great expansion in jobs like fishery, dairy, poultry, and floriculture. And but unfortunately, there is no diversification plan. There is no incentive for farmer to go in for these things. And this is another great slide. You can see the red line shows the number of farmers. The blue line shows the number of laborers. If you see farmers are decreasing day by day, number of farmers is decreasing day by day, whereas number of farm labor is increasing day by day. Reason is very important, that no son of a farmer is coming to join his profession. They all want to go to Canada, or they want to all go in blue collar jobs. Nobody wants to dirty his hands. So with that result, the laborer is increasing, farmer is decreasing. Here the skill lies with the farmer. So it's a great situation. Unless until we do something about it, if this situation continues, we'll have hardly any farmers left in the country. This is another slide which tells you the very important status of the agriculture in the country. You see, we have 18% of world population, 16% of cattle population of the world, and then land we have only 24%, 2.4%, and out of that cultivable land is only 40%. And the most important is in the red. Total water available to us is only 4% of the water resources. And out of that 4%, 80% we are using in the agriculture. And the population dependent, this I have already told you. And then another important statistics is that we produce 11% of fruit and vegetable of the world, but in export market only 1% of our produce is there. So you can see the, and what happens to balance fruit, 40% goes waste. Reason, we have no storage facilities, no cold storage facilities, because they have very less shelf life. Result, when the bumper, any crop coming, tomato, potatoes, you see every day, the farmers are throwing them on the road. Reason, there are no storage, they cannot process it, so and they cannot sell it because market has no value is coming to them. So see the how grave is the situation. We have very less water resources. 80% which we are using, out of them, 80 we are using the flooding type of irrigation, whereas the requirement is micro irrigation, and in which you every drop you get a additional crop. And what is the scenario in agriculture? Indian scenario, we have a decreasing manpower. Studies have shown from 50 it has come to 49, 48 it is decreasing. Cultivable land is decreasing because due to urbanization. Water table gone drastically down, and today's paper you can see in Punjab it is very bad state. Decreasing production because of indiscriminate use of fertilizers and insecticides. The production is decreasing. On the other hand, we have increasing population. Middle class is increasing where the high protein diet is required. Traditional farming is no more profitable. You a farmer who does the present in northern India, who does wheat, paddy cultivation, they are most of them are under debt. And my personal experience is there. I have a land in my village, and no farmer is ready to take that land. I have 17 acres land. No farmer is. The last partner chap who took it, he came to me last week and said, "Sir, I am under 10 lakhs of debt, so I will henceforth I will not till your land." So this is the exact state of farmers in the villages. And so, what is the solution? Solution is in diversifying, giving the incentives to the farmers, and the farmer at his own is not able to diversify. Because there is a great, he requires a great assistance in post harvesting, marketing, and other things. Unless until government plans are such, their skilling is done in such a way that they take on the new coming fields which we have, like dairy, poultry, horticulture, poultry meat, the farm mechanization, micro irrigation. There's a great potential in these areas. Bamboo, honey, agri-wear culture, cold chain. Cold chain is another great potential. So if you go over this list, these are the areas which are upcoming areas. And if the skilling is done in these areas, for which we have made job roles which are commensurate with the emerging areas, which can help a farmer to enhance his income, which can help a unemployed rural youth to go for a job, which I'll be discussing in my next slides. And then if these so many problems are there, then what are the way forward? Way forward, is basically upskilling the farmer, adding upskilling in the farmer. That is one. Second is adding allied sector projects. Like, a farmer has a land, he can add more animals, milk animals, he can add beekeeping, he can add mushroom keeping. There are main aim is that he should process his produce at the gate. Unless until a farmer process his produce at gate or has the capacity to hold his produce, he will only commit suicides, because these things have to be done to uplift the farmers. Adopting new technologies like greenhouse, there is a 50 to 65% subsidy by the government in depending on the state. Micro irrigation is another this thing which you save electricity, you save your resources, and you get better produce. Research in high yield crops. So these are the other factors which use of certified sprayers, fertilizers, and pesticides. Soil testing is another area which is very gray. You don't expect a farmer to take his sample, go to a few limited places. A mobile testing labs is another area in the villages. So these is the way forward in agriculture if we have to improve the agriculture. Now, after giving you the just a broad present status of the agriculture scenario in the country, so I'll come to the Agriculture Skill Council of India, how we are organized, what we are doing, and what is our mission, and how we want to help uh, overcoming the scenario you have seen in agriculture. Uh, what I'm talking about Agriculture Skill Council is given on their site. So anything you miss, so you not understood, you can go on this site and see all the details. Whatever I'm discussing about Agriculture Skill Council is all given on this site. Our mission in Agriculture Skill Council is कौशल विकास के कृषि कौशल विकास से कृषि विकास से किसान विकास. So these are very appropriate thing. If we skill our farmer, our agriculture will get skilled, and finally our farmer gets skilled. The Agriculture Skill Council was formed in January 13. This is basically industry-led incentive, and five main constituents are there, uh, which form the governing council of Agriculture Skill Council. They are in industry, government reps, academicians and research institutions, farmers groups, and community exchanges. And our basic mandate is making job roles, mapping existing jobs with the job roles, developing new jobs in emerging technology which highlighted like cold chain, micro irrigation, greenhouses, carrying out the assessment and certification of the this is done in two parts. One is called RPL, recognition of prior learning. Already skilled people are under which assessed and certified and given a Government of India certificate. Second is training absolutely raw chaps in short-term training courses to make them unable to go for self-employment oblique jobs. Then the labor market information system promotes skill development plans for the states. Uh, uh, in consultation with states, carry out the analysis district of each districts. What are the job roles required? What is the skilling area which is a gap? And lastly, open with the industry, in cooperation with industry, open occupational skill, occupational centers of excellence, where farmers can be demonstrated about the latest technologies. Our sponsors are, as you can see on the slide, we have from the industry, seed, pesticide, fertilizers, major industries are part of our sponsors, farm machinery, irrigation, you name any industry, they are there. From government side, we have NABARD and National Committee on Pesticides, T Board, B Board, all are part of our, they're part of sponsors. And the farmers associations, we have All India Vegetables Grower. So list is given on the slide. And then we have training institutions. Most of these important training, International Horticulture Innovation Center, Central Institute of Post Harvest. So they are all our sponsors, and they have a large number of them are on our governing council also. Then what is a focus segment? These are the areas, two major areas where we focus our development, and our emphasis are the first is self-employment. As you are aware, agriculture is one area where large self-employment is possible. We are talking about job, but we know that creation of job is slow. But agriculture, we have a huge potential of self-employment, and so these are the areas in agriculture, self-employment and wage sectors. On your left, you can see cereals, pulses, sugar canes. These are the horticulture, protected cultivation, precision. These are the areas in which we focus and develop the job roles. And so far, what has been our track record? You see, we have signed MOU with the major developed countries from which most of our standards and lot of things are brought from them are incorporated and as per the Indian requirement. You can see United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, and Australia. These are the countries we have signed MOU and doing that. Then major schemes of the government which we are promoting. One is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Under that, short-term courses are carried out, and target audience is unemployed school dropout youth. And I hope you are aware that 76% of students drop out before higher secondary. So our target audience is that this thing. And if you go on site in detail, now we have a lateral skilling program under NSQFA, under which a chap who doesn't want to do general studies, he can follow the skill channel and go up to B vocational level. Now, 21 colleges in the country have already started this program. Details are available on our site. In addition to that, there is a centrally sponsored vocational school higher secondary program in which we have Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana. You can see the number of schools which agriculture has been started in 9th class. And it goes up to 12th class. The aim is that after 12th class, a chap doesn't want to study. After 10th class, he doesn't want to study. He goes out and he's employable. So whatever he has been taught, now another question comes, okay, what are you doing so great that other people are not doing so far, and how come with a 1 year, 2 year ITI course he's not getting job and this thing. Main aim is there whatever we are teaching is purely industry relevant. For example, I'll give you one great example. Presently, we have small agriculture retail shops where seeds, pesticides, and everything is being sold every corner of the states. But who sells those products? If actually raw chap, a farmer goes to him, tells him कि भाई मैंने कीड़ा लग गया, कौन सी दवाई डालनी है. So whatever nearest to him, he gives it to him and he uses it. He goes and buys seeds. Similarly, there's no knowledge to that chap who sells him. So these are the areas where the great job potential exists. A chap, industry wants these chaps, a chap with 1 year, small training, and then he's placed in these jobs. Of course, salaries are less, but then we are talking about the chap who's earning nothing. There's a total dropout. So they are very such like cold chain. Now there's a, like I told you, 40% of product goes waste. So if we have the now cold chains are coming up in Himachal, J&K, and in today's paper you see Haryana also has recommended a cold chain. So here's a great potential for these people who can take training and they'll be job ready for these new jobs which are coming in. And lastly, like I brought out, there is a university and colleges. There's a scheme called B Vocational. Then there's a community colleges scheme. And then in addition to that, now we have a AICT recommended school colleges also, in which this NSQF oriented program has been rolled out. Recognition of prior learning, I had already told you, this is for the people who are already skilled, but they are assessed, and any skill gap is there, that is made up. Jobs in agriculture, most of it's a self-employed jobs, but now there are new sectors coming up in agriculture where there's a great this thing. Like we have now crop insurance, so there's a lot of demand. Then cold chain, I just brought out cold chain, is a great demand. Ripening chambers, so far you are eating banana with carbide this thing. Now there are a lot of ripening chambers have come everywhere. So no more there is you get a banana which is ripened with a carbon. So it's done in a very scientific manner. But we have to have for other foods also. Then there's a warehousing, logistic, cold chain. So this is in view of our country's seasons. There's a great demand for cold chain. This thing. Then there is the wage difference between a skilled and unskilled worker is 100% to 200%. You know, a chap goes, you want to, it's a clear example comes in a plumber coming to your house or any skilled person. A person comes, you have no idea what good he is. Once he has done your job, or let's say gardener coming to your house, you have no idea what he knows. He doesn't know. unless until he does a great job, and or he spoils your whole farming. But in this case, they are assessed, is certified by a recognized body, given a certificate. So a person who's getting, let's say, 3,000 a month, once he has a certificate in hand, he'll be employed by a reputed chaps, good institutes, because the government of India which certifies his skill level. And lastly is last point is a demand-led training. Presently training we were carrying out, mostly it was target-led. Given we train so many, so many. So main requirement is to do the demand-led training. And these are the list of job roles which we have developed as per the developing areas in the agriculture. No, when I speak in the farmer goshtis, we speak to farmers. 50% will tell you greenhouse is a good business. Other 50% tell you, sir, useless business. Don't get into it. I am in debt. Reason: it's a highly technical intensive program. You have to be very sensitize yourself. Don't go with the shoes inside. Nobody goes without the proper protective this thing. And these precautions are not taken. And when one infection goes inside, then you can't control it. So that's why I spoke. Most of the farmers who have failed in this agri business are the one whose only thing was, sir, there was so much of the infection that the whole thing collapsed. I couldn't do anything about it. So main reason is, if you take proper training, follow proper procedure, 40 to 60% increase in your normal income from a normal regular agriculture and using a greenhouse. And whatever loans you have taken, you can pay off in 2 to 3 years time. So there are large number of success stories and there are number of failure stories. And if you go it with the failure chap and finally you come to a conclusion, he didn't follow the proper practices. He did like typical Indian style, जो अंदर आया जा सकता है, जो बाहर आया जा सकता है. And so he paid the price for that. Similarly, pesticide and fertilizer application, no one has any clue. If my next door neighbor uses one bag, I use two, next one uses three. So with the result, we are just spoiling everything. So if we have a trained people available in the nearest shops or fertilizer shops, they do it judicially, they do it proper way, great potential for jobs. Similarly, these job roles you go. So these are job roles which are in the rural areas. A chap can, soil sampling is a huge potential, and nobody thinks of the soil testing in the country. So if it is done, we have trained people in villages who can take the samples, take it to the labs, give him this thing. So it will help farmer in a huge manner. And now there's another focus is one is unemployed youth getting jobs in agriculture, and second is how we enhance the income of a farmer. Every day we hear farmers committing suicide, people dropping agriculture as a cultivation. So main recommendations are that first of all is the irrigation. We don't have water. Unless until we follow this rule, per draw more crop. Israel is a great example, a country without water producing huge crops. So unless until we follow these systems, micro irrigation, you are not only saving the water, your production per year enhances quite a lot. So investments is not very much. Then quality seeds and nutrients. Every year, every season, you hear large number of cases of bad seeds, fertilizers being supplied to farmers. So unless until we improve, ensure quality control, large investment, you can't get away from this in warehousing and cold chain. No farmer will ever succeed in farming unless until he does processing of his part produce at his gate. I'll give you a small example. You have 4 or 5 acres. 1 acre you only do it for organic farming. You see what price you get that wheat, or forget that. There's a 10,000 rupees a small machine which makes dalia. At least take out a few produce, make local dalia, pack it up, sell in the market. You see the difference price you get. And great example in this is a corn. A farmer sells his corn 10, 12, 14 rupees a kg. and once it is processed by a simple machine into corn flakes, it sells at 400 rupees a kg. Himachal apple, which is more delicious, more juicy, after 3 months of its production, from 80, 100 rupees per kg comes to 30 rupees kg. The reason, it is stored in open, it loses its juice, it loses its taste, it becomes like a potato. But other hand, you see a California apple comes from California, reaches us after 1 year. It is absolutely juicy, absolute flavor, sells at 250 rupees a kg, and we all pay to buy it. So if we have our cold chain up and running, which is partly not has started in Himachal Pradesh, so our apple, not in India, worldwide will fetch better price, because it has better taste, and same goes for our mangoes. If we have the system in place, our mangoes and apples are the best in world. Large investment, promotion in value addition through food processing. I've given you the example. Okay, farmers, unless until they start processing their produce at the gate, nobody can save them. Then is a great initiative by the government, is a national farm market, NAM, called NAM. It has started in Himachal Pradesh, and other day there was a story ke how the local vegetable growers are selling all over country their market. It's a very simple system. Any farmer can go there and sell his produce, seeing the rate on that day. In anywhere country, if he is a better rate, he can sell it there. It's a very simple system. Farmer doesn't have to go anywhere. He doesn't have to take it there. So the system has been laid out. He just takes to the local mandi, which is registered with the NAM on the portal. So there online he sees the rates, and whichever rates he accepts, the produce is automatically moved from that mandi to that place, and he gets his money. Great initiative by the government, but we have to educate our farmers about this. Introduction of new crop insurance, a great initiative has been taken by the government. Skill of individual in ancillary activities. I told you, if to increase his income, a farmer cannot depend purely on the paddy wheat on agriculture. He should look at his land as a resource. He can keep beekeeping, mushroom keeping, then a lot of fertilizers he can start. So all these things he had to add to his portfolio, and then only it becomes profitable. And these are the job roles meant for enhancing a farmer's income. So in addition to his normal cultivation, he can get into this. So these are the job roles which we provide the training. And training, mind you, is a free training given by the government. And a person who clears this training, he gets a reward from the government also. And a large number of centers have come all over the country where this training is given. You want to see where you want to take training, which is the area, which is the job role, go to our site, go to NSDC site. You can locate a center nearest to you, and when the course is starting, and do the training there. And best part is the entrepreneurship is a part of our course. A 40 hours special capsule is in addition to your domain training on the skill you are taking. There is a 40 hours of entrepreneur skill training, which is basically given to the farmer to fill the gap of gray area where he didn't know how to sell his produce, what to do with his produce. And that was the main gray area. So and what is economical, what is not economical, what animal to keep, how many animal to keep, from where the fertilizer is to be taken. All these things are done in that module, entrepreneurship model, which is part of all the skill trainings which is carried out. And this is again another list of job roles. You can see timber grower, quality seed grower, beekeeper. In addition to your normal agriculture, this thing, goat farming is on catching up these days. Small poultry farm. We all used to have rear yard poultry farms. So these are all. Verming compost is another great area, great demand everywhere now. In addition, so these are the small plants which can be used in your present land and fetch a great money. And I'm done with this thing. And this is the last slide. Agriculture Skill Council, I don't want to boast, but has done a great job in field of agriculture. Last year, we were awarded the best sector skill council among the 40 sector skill council. And here you can see Honorable Minister giving prize certificate to our CEO, Dr. Arias. Uh, I have finished now. If you have any questions, my details and Dr. Arya's details are flashed on the slide. You are most welcome to contact me. We look forward to successful farmers to become our training partners, and so we can really build the capacity and uplift the farmer. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Sir, I have two specific questions.
Yeah.
Number one, as a sector skill council, what are your expectations from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and employers organizations like FICCI, TAPCCI, CII, or other chambers of commerce and industry, and also the educational institutions?
So there are two parts, sir. We are come under Ministry of Skill Development only. We are there, one of the arms, sir. We have National Skill Development Corporation is there under the Ministry of Skill Development, sir, and we have been created by NSDC to do the skilling part in the agriculture. So we are, as it is, part of that chain only, sir. So whatever the policies are there, we are, as per the mandate given to us by the NSDC, we are executing that mandate, which I gave you in the slide, sir. Now, second part is with the industry, sir. Industry, sir, though most of these agriculture related industries, they are our sponsors and they are part of our governing councils. But main thing required is from the industry, sir. Number one, ke they should come forward and do this RPL training, what is called requisition of prior learning, like say cold chain industry, poultry industry, dairy industry. There are large number of populations, workers employed there who are skilled but have no avenues anywhere, because other than their owner for whom they are working, nobody knows Mr. Desraj what skill he has. So my request is that industry should come forward. There's a simple application, they have to give it to us and do this RPL program. It is called requisition of prior learning, which is a totally funded by the government. All your expenditure for it's a 12 hours of training, and the next day assessment is done. For training assessment, government pays. You don't have to pay anything, and a person who succeeds it, he gets a Government of India certificate and giving the what kind of level he has in his job skill, which will help him to go to anywhere in the country, and he doesn't have to work 4 years to prove what skill he has. So it is there on black and white. So that is a great help. Industry can do it, sir.
My second question pertains to job roles and qualification packs which you referred to. I would like to know how many of these qualification packs and job roles have been really used for imparting training.
Yes. All I'll say, sir, large number of them are being used. In PMKY1, which last year which scheme was there, large part is there. Large number of them are being used. But like I brought out in my briefing, there are some new emerging areas in agriculture. They are, I'll say, there's a number of business model also involved. You see, finally, what is happening is a training center has to be opened by a training provider. He's a private company, and he has to give the training as per laid down standards. Now, there are number of factors come in there. Mobilization, how many people are there? Like I said, our training should be demand led. So presently, we are advertising, government is advertising that these new areas have come in which have large number of potential. But if you to answer your question specifically, people are still going for that conventional trainings like dairy, poultry. There are very few people coming up in micro irrigation, cold chain management. There, so the impact, you can say we are almost future ready as far as agriculture is concerned. We have foreseen these sectors coming in like cold chain and greenhouses, micro irrigation, and we have already developed qualification packs. Qualification pack development takes almost 6 months to an year. So we have already done our homework, so, and we are now promoting them, telling them. So now this year we are very hopeful that new training centers are coming up under PMKY2. So in that number of these new job roles people are picking up. Floriculture is another area. So these 50% of them people are taking up. Rest we are promoting them to take up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think it has been a wonderful